The next chapter is quality. There is a supplement to this chapter which covers statistical quality control, so we'll cover both the chapter and the supplement. Quality of products and services that a company produces is an extremely important concept. Quality can be a powerful competitive weapon which can differentiate a company from competition and be able to reduce the production cost and be able to compete on the basis of cost, and it can compete on the basis of superior quality, and in many respects high quality production is extremely important for the survival and profitability of companies. Perception of good quality automatically would result in increased market share and sales, and also reduction in costs, as we will see later on. But building quality organization is not an easy task, and it is an all-encompassing philosophy that has to be embraced for a company to produce products and services of very high quality. Now, how can quality improve profitability? There are two broad areas. One is through increased sales, and the other is through reduction in cost. Now, perception of good quality product will automatically improve market penetration, and it will increase sales, and through increase in revenue you can increase the total profit. And improved quality also would result in increased productivity in terms of fewer number of rejected parts, fewer number of reworks and scrap, and lower warranty costs. And through these, the cost of production can be minimized, and that is another source of increased profit. Now, to incorporate quality in the organization, it has to start from the top. The organizational practices that starts from the top of the top management is extremely important, and they have to show leadership. It should be part of the mission of the company, and there must be effective procedures and processes and sufficient training, and the quality consciousness should permeate from the top all the way through the lower rungs of the organization. Now, once we establish that quality consciousness, then quality principles can then be implemented: continuous improvement, benchmarking, just-in-time, tools of TQM, all with a customer focus. Now, through those efforts, then we can bring in employee empowerment and commitment to the organization, and all of these will yield to customer satisfaction and reputation for high quality products. Now, how do you define quality? As an operations manager, it is our objective, primary objective, to make sure that we have the systems in place that identifies and satisfies customer needs. So that is one way of looking at quality: identifying and satisfying customer needs. Now, American Society for Quality defines quality in this fashion: the totality of features and characteristics of a product or service that bears on its ability to satisfy the stated or implied needs of the customer. So, customer focused definition of quality. Now, we can look at quality from three different points of view. One is from the user point of view. The users are interested in a product delivering performance, or the functionality of the product for which they buy the product is performed at or better than expectation. A manufacturing based view is to make sure that you have procedures and processes in place, the standards for conformance, that good quality products get produced the first time you make it right the first time. And product based quality is specifications, some things that you can measure and weigh and analyze and see whether it meets the high standards that we have set. So we can look at quality from these three perspectives: the product perspective, and the manufacturing process perspective, and finally the user perspective, which is the final test for quality. implications of quality is multifold. Of course, if you produce high quality products and if you have a reputation for high quality products, that is going to serve you well in profitability and long-term survival of the company. If you have high quality product, then your product liability risk is also reduced. If you don't pay sufficient attention to quality, then that could lead to product liability problems. And of course, to compete globally in these days, perception or quality consciousness and reputation for quality are extremely vital. Now there are some quality standards, nationwide and even global standards, that have been established through which you can document and establish your commitment to quality. One of those is Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, which was established in 1988, and a lot of companies compete to win this award, and this award is given in various levels: large companies, small business, medium-sized business, and services, and so on. The Baldrige criteria, there are 6 categories, and each category has a weight, and the companies are judged on these categories with these as the points. Now there is also ISO 9000 International Quality Standard, and again you have to document various areas in which you meet certain standards, and then you can gain ISO International Standard certification, or holder of that certification gives you the stamp of approval for quality. There are industry and academic leaders who have championed the importance of quality, and some of the names are mentioned here, and you can read these carefully in the text. Edward Deming and Juran, these two people were instrumental in transforming Japanese manufacturing from one that was considered poor quality products. The Japanese products became high quality, and they gained the reputation for superior quality products. The other individuals who argued that improving quality is really not a cost, it actually increases revenue and profit when you consider all the costs involved in not paying attention to quality. What are the costs of quality? There is 4 different costs that you should take into account: prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure, and external failure. Prevention cost is reducing the potential for defects. That is, you design the product, design the production process in such a way that quality production is easy and it is possible. Now, appraisal is to evaluate the products and the parts and the services to see whether it meets the high quality standards that we have set. Internal failure cost is producing a defective part or service before it is delivered to the customer. So you can catch that, and when you catch it, then you may have to rework to make it good, or if it is not possible to rework, then you have to throw it away, so it will become scrap. Now, external failure costs are the warranty costs, that after sale a problem occurs and then you have to fix it. So of these, of course, external failure cost is the most serious cost which you want to avoid at all costs. So when you add them all up, appraisal, prevention, internal failure, and external failure cost, as you see, as you improve quality, the improvement in quality actually will reduce the total of all the costs involved related to quality. Now, we need to make sure that the products that we produce are of high quality, safe, and it's healthy, and these are related to how much attention a company pays on quality. If you produce poor quality, like for example the Chevy ignition switch problem, it results in deaths. It is alleged that the company knew about this problem and they did not fix the problem. There was a quality problem that resulted in deaths.